Welcome to Love You Bro podcast. I am your host, Jude Davella. As I do it up every week, I do it with my brother, Jamie.
What to do?
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
How are you?
Good, good.
Good, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to welcome in a special guest and then talk about a little bit of stuff. But we want to welcome on set tonight Kansas City's very own Jacob Bartlett, man. Jacob, welcome to the show tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
First off, before we go any further, we've had some good-looking peeps on here, but he's definitely the most handsome.
I don't know about
Hey,
that.
that boy
no.
pretty, man. I was like, I told you, Minnie is like, Dad, he's dreamy. I was like, what? He's coloring over there. My stage one night, the best looking.
I'm just telling you, we've had some NBA guys on here, some college guys on here, NFL guys. But these soccer guys, I'm telling you, man, these soccer guys come in. I'm glad that we don't have an audience full of girls because we would be shunned off of here. But
No, I'm definitely beat by it.
I've said this before. I was like, my face is for radio. Like, this boy, man, he got a future, man.
thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule and stuff to be a part of our show. I'm going to start off first and foremost tonight. We lost a very dear friend of ours on Friday, Nick Cervantes. It's tough to talk about. He's a good friend of ours, someone who's been a part of our friendship and family for many years. We lost Nick on Friday, and we want to say special prayers out to his family, his wife, his kids, and our Hispanic community here. So many people loved him, and he'll be missed. So I apologize for breaking up, but he's a big part of our family and our lives. So, prayers to Nick Cervantes and his family.
For sure.
Rest in peace, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. That's a tough one there.
No, it's tough. It's tough for sure.
Guys, okay, sorry. Okay, Jacob, like I said, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I know you guys are busy. You're in season. We appreciate you. We appreciate Patrick setting all this up. We had on one of your guys, which we're going to get into we're going to get into Jake Davis and your guys' relationship and stuff and what that kind of means to you there. But I want to really talk a little bit, and Jamie and I talked a little bit offset earlier. We're really interested because we got into it a little bit with Jake, and he told us kind of his story from coming from Minnesota and stuff, and then coming here and at a young age. So what was it like? When you're coming up, you're playing soccer. You've got your older siblings. We're gonna get into your family because we know you got an awesome family of athletes in there. But tell us what it was like, because I saw when looking up information and doing some research. So you were there 11U to 19U in the Sporting Kansas City Blue Valley in the academy, correct?
Yeah.
So tell us what that's like when you're 11 and you're going to go and you start kind of getting moved up and you get picked to go in the academy like that. What's that like at that young of an age?
I mean, obviously, I think I grew up obviously having the dream of becoming a professional soccer player. But when you're 11 or 12, it's kind of, you're just going out on the weekends to play soccer. Like, it's just it's for the fun of it. So when I joined, it was kind of just a couple of my buddies and I were just like, well, we might as well give this a shot. We didn't really know anyone within the system at all. And we're like, we love soccer so much, we'd love to play as much as we could. And obviously being able to see professional, like back then, the first team was at Swope Park where the academy trained, or still trains. So being able to see pro soccer players at 11, 12, it was like, it's the coolest thing ever. So that was kind of like, that piqued our interest for sure. And like I said, I never, obviously I had dreams of becoming a professional, but you don't really take it that seriously when you don't think that far when you're that young. But I would say, like going into it, U12, U13, climbing the ranks, I guess, there was a lot of players who kind of, some of my best friends actually, who kind of just wasn't the route for them, and they went high school. So that part was definitely tough. Obviously, joined with some of my buddies, and then towards the end, I think there was only 2 or 3 U19 when I left for college. There was only 2 or 3 left from the original team, maybe 1 actually. So it was definitely tough. There's always new faces. There's always new players coming in. And that part of it, I think, keeps it fresh, keeps it competitive. And I feel like that definitely kept me going, kept me interested, trying to achieve more, trying to make the top team, make the older team, something like that. So yeah, when I first joined, it was Declan Joji, who's our academy director now, but my relationship with him is incredible. He's one of the best humans I've ever met in my life. I think I definitely had some tough moments going through the age groups.
Of course.
I was never really the biggest kid ever. I
Right.
was really undersized until later on. And
That's why you play pissed and aggressive, though. I think.
definitely, I would say I leaned on my brothers on that one. They beat me up. No, but I didn't play much, and to be honest, I doubted myself a lot when I was younger, 15, 16, 17. I didn't know if this was a route for me. I always saw my friends playing high school soccer, and I was like, I'd love to play with them right now, go have fun, play in front of our friends.
Right.
But the whole staff there, Declan, as well as all the academy coaches, they kept me in the right mindset, as well as my brothers and family, that if you truly want to do this, is like the dream. As you get older, it comes more and more achievable, I guess, or in your head, it becomes more attainable. And they kept me on the right track, kept me in the right mindset to keep going, and I guess here we are. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's that like? So at 11 or 12, are you playing any other sports? Are you playing?
Yeah.
Are
So
you
when
hooping,
when I first joined, I played baseball, basketball, soccer. I played. I mean, not very competitively, but like I still played on teams and stuff and clubs. So yeah.
But your love of soccer. You knew soccer was going to be your jam. And so, what's that commitment like? Because because I did all that shit. Like, when I was younger, obviously never even close to what you've achieved, but like bullshitting out there with like, but sometimes I'd be like, I don't know if I want to play baseball this summer. I want to kick it with the friends and go to the pool and like do that stuff. But your commitment at that age, is it a lot different than your friends who are playing like 3-2 baseball and playing like soccer? Like, is it that commitment's completely different, right?
I would say definitely. I think when I first joined, and all the way up to through U19, there's five practices a week, Monday through Friday, and then you usually play. When you're that young, you usually just play home games. There's really no traveling until you get to U14-ish. But it was like with your other sports when you're that young, it's usually a couple practices a week, maybe. It's never really 5 days a week. So
that's kind of bullshitting around, running around the outfield, shooting from half court.
But for me, like the baseball and basketball, it kept soccer fresh. I feel like it was something new. It also kept me interested, because there's other times when I enjoyed baseball maybe more or basketball more, and then kind of having that love for soccer again, like it made it better in some sense, I would say.
And with your siblings and all the success they had, were they the same way? Did they play other sports, or was it just soccer for them?
So my brother played. So their academy was kind of starting when he was in high school. It wasn't really where it is now, like great foundation and like so much going on with them. So it was kind of in their early stages of it. So he actually played high school soccer, both of them. And they played high school sports as well. Like my brother played basketball in high school up until senior year. So yeah, they did kind of the same route. They did football. My dad wouldn't let me play football, tackle football. He was a football player, so he was like, "You're keeping you out of concussions." And
of
all
course,
that.
sure,
so,
absolutely. But, Jacob, we've had on several coaches and in football and basketball and baseball and stuff that we've talked to, and they even now as you see so many kids specializing in one sport. It seems like most of the coaches and people we've talked to have all said that they would prefer someone who's played multiple sports.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the biggest reasons they talked about is just somebody being burned out. You made an interesting point here a minute ago when you were talking about when you said it kind of kept everything fresh. Yeah. Like it wasn't just soccer.
Yeah.
You were playing a little bit of baseball and basketball. I think that's big. I think you've got to play multiple sports.
And Coach Shelley, who was coach at Johnson County Community College, who was baseball, who was inducted in the Hall of Fame, he said some interesting stuff that I would never even think about. And he was like, when these young kids, they work muscles they don't work during baseball, during basketball, during football. And I didn't even think about it that way. He's like, if you're just playing one sport as a youth growing up, you're naturally just kind of built. That's how you're built. And it's like there's no other action or torque or whatever it may be. So that's interesting, because when we were growing up, obviously old heads, like it was like see, if you were decent in a sport in junior high, like you need to really focus on this. So it was kind of like hooping year round, or it was like, it was really football wasn't year round, but it was like hooping or playing baseball, like start playing baseball, but it wasn't, they kind of frowned upon, not frowned, but it wasn't encouraged. Like it was kind of like, you need to really focus. Mm-hmm. There was track kids that ran track, and but the combined sports, sometimes it carried over into other sports. It just wasn't, it wasn't as like encouraged and like, you know, with the success that people have had with it and doing it. So it's cool to hear that.
Yeah, I think for me, like you said, going along with like how they can complement each other, other sports. I would say for me, basketball as well as baseball, like the coordination part.
Sure.
I think that's helped me without a doubt. Whether it be like, I guess, throw-ins or anything like that. Like it could be as simple as that. Like anything like that, as well as coordination with my feet or running or kind of positioning in certain way or use my body, stuff like that. I definitely see a difference in that. How that has, I mean, I didn't play baseball and basketball at the highest level whatsoever, but just kind of the daily practice, the daily, I guess, actions of the sport.
Did you play 3 and 2? Or did you play 3 and 2?
It was like we played like AA, AAA up until 8th grade for baseball, and then like I played for my middle school and a little AAU with some other guys for basketball. But
so you could hoop a little bit there if you're playing AAU. You could hoop a little bit, Jacob.
I cannot.
You got handles?
I'm just out there. I was just the corner 3 guy.
There you go, pocket 3 going.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Jacob. So let's go a little into as we talk kind of about your youth and stuff. I mean, your parents. I mean, we've heard great things about them and seen this stuff about the kids that they've raised in your family. 4 really, really good athletes. Was mom and dad big time athletes?
Yeah, my mom. So they went to the same college, Doane College in Nebraska. My mom played basketball there, and then my dad played football.
Okay.
A little bit of rugby as well, but football.
Okay. So what about your siblings? Talk a little bit about your siblings, their sports, and what they did. What it was like growing up in the Bartlett house. Where do you fit? Are you the younger? You're the baby?
Yeah, I am.
Oh man. Okay. So tell us what that was like being the baby growing up with the older siblings, athletes. Tell us what that was like.
So the whole family, both brothers and sister, all play soccer. I was talking to you before, but my brother played, so he went to a different high school than I did, but he played soccer all through high school. Like I said, other sports as well, basketball, baseball. He went to play college soccer at Creighton, and then transferred to Drake for his he played a 5th year, so 4 years at Drake. And then played 1 year pro, and then now he's in Arizona with his wife and kid.
So no academy for him?
No, he was club, same as Lucas, the younger brother. They played at local clubs. Like I said, academy wasn't really like built up to where it is now.
Right.
But I would say their team, they played at really high levels. Like they had a bunch of guys play college as well. But yeah, Alec played for 5 years in college and then 1 year pro, and kind of wasn't for him. He was always focused on medical school, and now he's in his, I believe, don't check me on this, but last year residency at U of A.
Awesome.
So he's enjoying life out there, and then Lucas obviously
has your good looks and yeah, he got it right too. All right, where's moms and pops? I want to meet that. Why are they not here tonight?
Lucas also played high school soccer club and all that, and the other sports as well, and then went to Loyola Chicago for a year. Transferred to Drake, followed in my brother's footsteps, and then went to St. John's for 1 more year in New York. And then got drafted to Dallas. Played for St. Louis, and now he's at DC.
Okay, now he's at DC.
And then my sister, she kind of same thing. I think she was mostly soccer. She swam and did track and field a little bit. But she played high school soccer and played for a very good club team. And now she plays at GCU. She was on her last year at GCU. So
so Alec and Lucas, where'd they go to high school at?
Lucas went to Aquinas like I did, and then Alec went to St. James.
Okay, so did Alec play at St. James? He
yes,
played high school at St. James?
Yeah.
Okay, so my daughter Carly went to St. James.
Okay,
and then went to Creighton. Yeah. Now she's at Children's Mercy. So St. James, there's a lot of St. James kids that go over there to Creighton.
They're the rivals. So
yes. I listen. I know. I had a few. I think I had a few volleyball altercations at the Aquinas gym when some of the St. James parents were like, "You're gonna get asked to leave the gym in a minute." So can you imagine that, Jamie? Me yelling at a volleyball match between Aquinas and St. James?
I sit like 4 rows back, man, and tuck my hat down. I'm like, I don't know who that fool is yelling like that.
Trust me, poor Carly. Those girls would be like, "Yeah, here your dad's at it again." So I remember the St. James Aquinas rivalry as well. So what was it like in high school then, Jacob, when you were at Aquinas? You're playing for the academy and stuff. No high school ball. What's that kind of walking around the high school? Because I'm sure they wish that you were obviously on their soccer team. What was your relationship like with some of the players on Aquinas? Were you close to those guys? Were they kind of like, Jacob's academy? Like what was that like?
I would say so. My pretty much some of my best friends played for the high school team.
Okay.
And my brother played for the high school teams, and the same coach was there when he was there and when I was there as well. So I'd see him in the halls and he'd be like, giving me crap, like, when are you joining the team, like, next year, like, nudging me and stuff. But it would, like, everyone was, it was all jokes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, there was plenty of times where to be honest, I would go catch every high school game. I would go love to watch my buddies, especially like the rivalry games against St. James and stuff. They get big crowds, and at that time I was like, oh, that looks so awesome. Like, I would want to be doing that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think for me, I made the right decision. But obviously, looking back, I would for sure say I was a little bit jealous at the time, seeing my buddies go out and play in front of the school and all your friends and stuff. But at the
He
same
was in
time,
the stands with all the shorties, though.
oh my gosh!
Can you imagine that, Jacob, there? About 13 girls sitting around and he's rooting for the team. I know those guys in the field were like,
I really wish I was down there, but
Jacob's sitting way too close to
Yeah,
my girl
I'm
for him.
straight.
No, they're watching the guys in the field, not me. No.
So on a serious note, like, how different was it for you? Like, what you were giving up, like, you know, as far as like, because what's practices like at school, and then what you're doing, the commitment, like, it's obviously it's drastically different because you're talking high school sports, professional sports, or leading up to it. So I bet that was tough for you.
Yeah.
Like, watching him, like, hey, man, I want to be out there with my guys.
Yeah.
This is my school I represent. But also that your workload, it's completely different.
Yeah.
And it's like, and how did you manage that? And how drastically different was it?
For me, it started in middle school because those are the years kind of building up until like your serious teams, like your U15, 16, you travel a lot. So it started in middle school. I would leave school early, like pretty much, not too early, right around I'd pretty much go from school in middle school straight to training. I was there for 3-4 hours. And those were like the year U13, U14, where you're like on the cusp of getting into like actually serious travel and full commitment into it. In high school, I would leave school every day, probably around 1 o'clock if I was playing with the academy. And
I was skipping school.
and there was
Different
days
academy.
when I got to junior and senior year of high school, I think there was stints where I went to preseason with the first team, so I was out of school for months.
Wow.
I would
That's
miss
amazing.
weeks on weeks because I would train with first team, so it's totally different. But I got to thank all the teachers and shout out my tutor Kat.
Sure.
They got me through it all with school and everything. I can't thank them enough for everything they did for me. But it was. I don't think for me, obviously, I'm sure people, like most people, get it, but I would say the commitment these young kids are putting into it, the sacrifices, like for me, my high school experience compared to my best friends were completely different. Like I missed school dances. I missed so many hangouts. I missed holidays with family. I missed just for traveling on a weekend for one game. And we travel Saturday, come back, or travel Friday, come back Sunday, or even Monday. And that was pretty much every other weekend. So I would say it was definitely very, very different. I didn't have a normal high school experience, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
And that's got to from a mental standpoint, like weigh on you. And it's obviously kind of like a thing that has you mature faster, if you will, because it's almost like you're an adult when you're not, as far as it's a job. It's a job, and it's kind of like, one of the when we had Jake on, shout out Jake. That's my guy, man. I love he's amazing. But one of the a story he shared, which was so unbelievably candid, and I got so many people that reached out to me personally from it, was he was with his host family, and he would FaceTime his mom every single night and essentially fall asleep on the phone with her. And it was so touching because I was just an asshole kid at 15, but I couldn't even imagine not being around my mom.
Absolutely.
I couldn't even imagine not being around her. So that stuff that, you kind of read about, if you don't follow her, if I don't have someone that's been what you've been through, you kind of read it, but you don't know how difficult it is and how much it truly weighs on you guys as young men, young ladies that are growing up to make this commitment. And it goes further if you're having a bad outing, having a bad when, I know Jude and I have, with his relationships to the NFL, you kind of get upset when you hear people, you're in the stands and someone's booing, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, that's my guy there. But to even be deeper rooted into what you guys have given up in the commitment at such a young age, it's a really special thing. So,
sure.
hats off to you guys and what you've done. I think it's such a wonderful thing and a wonderful testament to your dedication. So
And I think for me, I'm extremely blessed to be able to grown up here. And for me, compared to like other guy's story like Jake's, I had it easy, to be honest. Like I can't imagine being away from my family at 15, 16,
Sure.
anything like that. That's insane.
Yeah.
And the fact that they get through it and are successful as he is, and
Yeah.
how many people have been, it's a true testament to them and their families.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm extremely blessed to have been able to stay around home and,
Yeah.
and everything like that, and still be able to go to high school with some of my buddies here and there.
Yeah.
Like Jake's story is
Yeah.
truly incredible, and props to him. For
And
sure.
we were talking earlier about like your friends that are home from college. Like it's really good to see them when
Yeah,
they're home
absolutely,
right now.
yeah.
Like it's awesome because you're like, and it was off camera, but as a candid moment, you're like, it can get lonely, and I'm like, I can't even imagine. That was a really candid moment, and like I can imagine it gets lonely with with your age demographic and friends you grow up with that are like in town and how cool it is.
Yeah,
I remember once again, I didn't do anything remotely as cool as you're doing.
I'm
but
not
was
doing
like,
anything
when I
cool.
had friends come in, it was always great to see my
Yeah.
my friends come in from where they were going to school, and how as they got older collegiately, it was less and less that they were home, but it was still so awesome. So that's awesome that you get to see that. And I imagine it's super cool and fun for you. That
This summer, every opportunity to hang out with my friends, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Because they're going back to college in less than a month.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But it's also, I think I've grown pretty close to some of the teammates, Pulse Camp, Jake, and some other guys for sure.
Yeah.
We've been golfing and all that. So
can you shoot on the course?
I'm out there. I'm trying to keep it on the grass.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I'm gonna have to invite Jacob. And does Jake play or no?
He does. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, we're gonna have to get an off day, man, and get a couple of the guys over to.
Oh, yeah.
They will
Let's do it.
embarrass you, Unc. They will
That's
embarrass
fine.
you, Unc.
That's fine. But
it's for the fun of
I
it.
at least want to get them over there, get them on the course and play a
Yeah.
little bit, man. I play old man golf. I just try to stay short.
There's no problem
keep
with
it in
that.
the middle, man. It's keeping the fairway.
there, yeah.
So Jacob, one of the questions that just blows my mind with you guys is it's so much different. I said we're old heads, man. We came from a different era, of playing, and the commitment, like you said, the commitment level. At what age for you did the switch kind of flip when you were like, okay, you're 11, you're 12, you're 13. When does that switch kind of flip where you're like, you know what, this is going to be. I mean, you talked about wanting to play professional soccer. Yes, no idea you're going to end up, playing with Sporting the whole 9 yards. But at what age does it kind of flip where you're like, you know what, like this is it. This is go time. Is it 14? Is it 17? Is it 16? Like you're only 19 years old right now. So at what point did that, or what clock, did that switch?
I would say for me, it was around kind of that jump from U15 to U16 where you start to travel pretty much every weekend or every other weekend. I would say that kind of set in is like, if I truly want to do this, it's a full commitment now, and I have to be either both feet in, or I can't be one in, one out. Because first of all, it's a disservice to my parents who, I would not be anywhere where I am without them. There's the amount of times they've taken me to training every day to Swope Park, 40-minute drive without complaining. Like the sacrifices they made for me to have the opportunity to play for Sporting.
Do they attend every home match?
They do.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
So in thinking about along those lines, so is as you start making that switch and start saying, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to play professional soccer. This is where I'm going. Are you having more of those conversations at home? Are they more with your older brothers? Are they more with your dad? Or is it kind of like, as a whole family, what were those conversations like, and when did those kind of like take place? But like I said, did you lean more on your older brothers, or did you go to your dad and say, like, we need to have this conversation?
I would say at that age it was more on my parents, because my brothers were still in the college. They hadn't obviously gone to the pros yet. But I would still definitely bounce ideas off of them. They'd still give great advice. But in that moment, I think when I was so young, especially when I was thinking of like quitting and going to play high school and trying to play other sports as well, like I would definitely bounce more ideas off my parents. It was more like an emotional thing, like, hey, like I think I'd be more happy. I'm not playing here. I feel like I'd be more happy playing high school soccer with my buddies, or maybe playing another sport as well. But they were like, you've put so much time and effort, so much sacrifice into this already. I think it's tough right now, but there's always going to be lows and highs in your career and in life in general.
Sure.
So I think if you stick through it, like I said, I wouldn't be where I am without them. Their drive and everything they've given me, I would. Yeah, I owe them everything.
See, that's awesome, Jamie. And when I think about what Jacob's talking about here, some of the stuff we've talked about before on some of our previous episodes about the NIL and transfer portal and stuff like that, I see, and I don't care what sport it is. I don't care if it's guy sports, girl sports, whatever it is. You see these kids that go to college and they're playing for a coach. All of a sudden, it's like, I was a superstar in high school. I'm going here. Now I'm not playing. So all of a sudden, I'm going to enter the transfer portal. And I just don't feel like it's teaching those life lessons of, like you said, the adversity and stuff you had to face to make that decision on, do I stick here or do I just go, I'm going to take the easy route and I can just go to Aquinas and probably start killing it and be all city, all state.
I don't
but
know
again,
about that.
Well, I mean, that's more than likely. If you're playing the academy, you're doing that. Those are probably things you're going to do. But for you to be mature enough to have this conversation with your parents and be like, you know what, I'm going to go through the adversity. I'm going to face these tough times.
100%.
But this is where I want to come out the other side and see where you are now, man. Hats off to you, to your parents. Awesome, because it's a lot of fun to see you. We're not big soccer guys. Like, we don't know the game in and out. We love the game, but we don't know it in and out. But we're out there. There's just guys you see that play with a lot of passion and stuff, and watching you play and smile and the passionate stuff you play with, we don't mind you picking up a yellow card every now and then. So,
my soccer career is so funny. We come back from the break. I got a fun story. In my soccer career, I was too slow, and I couldn't keep the ball in my foot.
Too slow at everything.
And these dudes would come knock me off the ball. I'm like, man, Dad, I'd like directly, beeline if they had the ball or not, and like hit into them. They blow the whistle, and coach like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "He took
the ball from me."
I'm like, "This is, I was trash." So I was like,
stop,
I wanted to be, because it's elegant, it's a beautiful game. It's like I was too slow, and I would have these great ideas, which when we come back from the break, I'm gonna tell you, Patrick, about the story.
Yeah,
about
listen.
playing in the media game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, Jacob, when we talk about slow and we talk about he was thinking about what he wanted to do, I wish Patrick had some footage from the media game.
I always talk about drip, so I'm like, I'm gonna get dripped out. I'm like, I have some socks.
I
got.
Yeah, you had all the drip. You just had no game.
No,
it was just.
I was like, I'm gonna put one back in the net. I was like,
Jacob, it was bad. I'm not kidding. It was bad. But here's the thing, though. He came to me before and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "Patrick asked if we wanted to play in the." I was like, "Nope." I'm like, "You ain't getting me out there." I'm like, "No way. I'm not going out there and embarrassing myself." He's like, "I'm going. I'm representing us. I'm going." So I was like, "All right." He went.
And I had a text to Patrick. It's like, and it got misworded. I said I'm gonna be the best dressed. He thought I said the best player, and I was like, "Oh, Red Raider." I thought, I go, "Oh shit." I'm busted. I'm gonna look good. I had
look good, play good, right?
But it caught up with me. So when we come back from the break, it's a funny story because I was like, and so I didn't even know, but I had a lot of friends in attendance that night. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got to the locker room, you thought I was like an NBA All-Star game. It was like, was that you? Was that you? Was that you? Was that you? I mean, I was like, oh man, everyone saw that shit. That was bad. But we come back to break. We'll get into it. But
we're gonna go to break real quick for a few minutes, and we're gonna come back. Hope you got a little bit more time to spend with us.
Yeah,
we're gonna take a short break here and then come back, and we'll do the second half of the show.
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Guys, we'd like to thank our resident sponsor, Proactive Solutions. They've been with us from day one. They allow us, Love You Bro podcast, to get to do what we do each and every week, and that's bring you a new episode with new guests. So a big shout out to Dean and Natalie Thede at Proactive Solutions. Proactive Solutions has been delivering infrastructure solutions and IT design and consultation services to clients ranging from startups to Fortune 100 companies for more than 27 years. They are proud to be a Kansas City locally owned and a top woman-owned business, offering custom solutions and personalized support. So thank you to Proactive Solutions, Dean and Natalie. If you guys are interested and your company needs some IT solutions, reach out to Proactive Solutions at www.proactivesolutions.com. We have two great resident sponsors that really help us here at Love You Bro Podcast and allow us to do what we get to do week in and week out. Lula's Southern Cookhouse, Bradley and Brittany Gilmore, owners of Lula's. It's at 1617 Main Street. If you have not been down here, please come down on a Sunday and have brunch. Great wait staff, great bartenders. The ownership team with Bradley and Brittany Gilmore are just fantastic people, and they allow us to do what we get to do in this amazing event space at Lula's Southern Northern Cookhouse. Welcome back to Love You Bro podcast with our special guest in the house, Jacob Bartlett from Sporting Kansas City tonight joining us. Again, man, thanks for taking time out.
100. Absolutely.
Listen,
thank you guys for having me.
You guys over at Sporting Kansas City are awesome, man. First time they came on, Jake Davis, Patrick, and Jake bought us jerseys. We got our
First
jerseys.
class, man.
Yeah, first class, bro.
Yeah.
And this is what we got today, man, from our people over at Sporting Kansas City. Patrick, Jacob Bartlett today. As you know, my little brother, the fashion guru over here, had this thing on. He's been eyeing this thing all season, and our man Patrick came through and knew what he wanted.
It is straight drip, boy.
What your sister-in-law said? She said that's got you.
She's like, yeah. I'm gonna drip it out too.
So again, thank you guys so much, man. This is awesome. Man. We can't wait to wear this stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got a sweatshirt for you, Jacob, and then
Amazing.
we got a gift card from Lula's, man. We'd like to show a little appreciation to our guys that come on. So
thank you so
we
much.
want you to come and
Appreciate
enjoy brunch or dinner here. It's great food. I think Patrick said he's coming in here soon to use this card.
Go.
Hey, let's jump into. There's a lot to talk about. I want to get to stuff about all the awesome things that they're doing over at the Current. I know you guys, Jake said you guys kind of follow and just really appreciate all the stuff that they're doing over there. So we'll get into some of that. But I want to talk a little bit about kind of your relationship with Jake Davis, because it's been kind of a unique one. I know there's been stuff, and we've seen media stuff with it. So tell us a little bit about what Jake has meant to you, as far as you coming in, playing and stuff. What is that relationship like, and what's Jake Davis meant to you, being there this morning?
Yeah, I think first of all, shout out to Jake. Like his story, like we were going over earlier, from moving here when he was a kid, moving away from family and everything. That's a testament to who he is, who his family is, that he's made it this far and he's still going. He's achieving so much more. He's, like I said, an amazing guy, great teammate. I remember like an instant this year, I can't remember who, it might have been LAFC away. There was a moment after the game, we lost unfortunately, but there was a moment after the game where I was pretty frustrated with not only my performance, but obviously the loss,
right.
As the team. And I had my head down in the locker room, and he came over and kind of like, he was like my locker neighbor, and he came over and like gave me a hug and was like kind of reassured me that I mean something to this team. Like I have an impact on this team, and I got to keep going, like performance on performance, because he understands it. I mean, he was a part of so many guys that got signed,
right?
And he's the one who's been killing it and staying with Sporting so far, and he's like I said, a testament to him, his work ethic, his attitude, his drive. You see it every day in training. You see it on the weekends as well.
Right.
I would say Jake for me, he's meant a lot, getting me through tough times, good times. I would say he's developing into a leader.
Right.
Being so young into this team, I think he's also becoming one of the leaders on this team, and I think it's being seen on the field as well.
That's very cool. You guys hang out a lot off the field?
We golf a decent bit together. I miss golf today. They were pretty upset about that, but I was like, we'll golf sometime soon. But
how many guys played golf today?
I think it was, I don't know, four or five maybe. And they were giving me crap about it, how I missed. But I was like, all right, I'll catch the next one.
Okay, so listen, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna get with Patrick because we're gonna have to look at the schedule here.
Yeah.
You guys tell me a day that you guys have that you guys can get away to play golf. I'd love to invite you over to Brookridge where just a little small health and fitness. We have a little golf course there.
That course is amazing. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to get you guys over to Brookridge and play around. So we'll take a look at your schedule, see when you guys got a down day to get you out there.
And a testament to what you were saying or about Jake, and just I think I meandered my way into the locker room after I was telling you that.
Trying to get us in trouble, isn't he, Patrick?
No, this has nothing to do with anyone other than my. But just the youthfulness that you guys have, and it was just a jovial, like just how you guys play, and you can tell there's a lot of love and a lot of playing for one another, and it's really cool to see this essentially next generation of sporting and kind of growing up and doing this together.
Mm-hmm.
It means a lot, and you can tell how much you guys enjoy and love each other. So that's an awesome thing. I was saying earlier about my horrible debut on the media game.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that, man. Tell us a little bit about your experience there playing there.
Patrick was sent it as the kid gets to go, and it was like, I sent my brother a message. He's like, oh man, I ain't doing that. I'm like, man, fuck that. I'm playing. I'm like, I'm gonna drip down. We play. So thought about it all week, and I was like, man, I'm like, damn, these dudes, some of them are older than me. I'm like, man, I gotta do something on here.
Yeah.
So we're going out to the game together, and he's like, man, don't embarrass us out there. I was like, nah, man. I hope I don't pull up with some shredded knee or something. I hope I do. So get out there. So I was like, first time, like halftime down the field, I'm like, holy shit, this thing is like, I'm gonna be dead. I'm like,
feels big.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's bigger than it looks.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm trying to stand on business. I'm like, oh God, I'm like, this thing is huge. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna pass out. I'm like, it'll be worse. I'm gonna fall out at midfield. So I picked my spot. So I got down, and there was a ball, and I was like, great ball, and I was like, oh, this is it. And it was like slow motion. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna put this shit in the back of the onion bag. I'm gonna do something to the cauldron. Hell yeah, we all celebrating tonight.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, it gets further and further, and I stick my leg out, like that's gonna do some shit, and it's still 2.5 feet away. And I was like, oh my God. I think that was the most embarrassing moment in sports for me, wrestling. But it was like a ball I could have got to 10 years, and the dude next to me is like, not even close, and I was like, hey man, hold on, this is a media game, dog. Hold on. But it wasn't. I wasn't. No. And so I got up, and all of my family, and like I said, all these friends were getting at me like, dog, like what happened? I was like, because I looked like I had an arthritic, like, because my leg shot out. And it wasn't even close. But anyway, it was fun though. It was great to go out there. Once again, you guys as an organization, I mean, it's so exciting, and so it makes me so proud to be affiliated with you guys and what you guys do. I mean, you guys are all wonderful people. From Patrick, it's just a first class organization, and it's awesome. Game day experience, and I've been doing it for a long time. It's never disappoints. It's first class, and I'm not talking from people who are saying, hey, what section are you in? Can I walk you down to? It's just, it's amazing. And it's, and then, to flip that what the Current's doing, it's kind of, the soccer mecca of the United States, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I know those busters from St. Louis, which they can keep their ravioli and keep their hill and all that bullshit. I'm like, it's funny to me. So I'm like, you guys, it's not even close. But, it is. And and what has that done? I know you said earlier off camera that you've made some relationship with some people from the Current. Yeah. And how cool is that? Because it's, once again, your club right now is relatively young. Yeah. I mean, it's relatively young, and obviously the Current. How is that? And how is that relationship? And how cool is that, man? Yeah. To be a kid from KC, to see what this has become. Yeah. Know that Kansas City's hosting the World Cup. If I would have told you 10 years ago, Kansas City's going to host a World Cup, you'd be like, you high? Yeah, you'd be like, no way.
It's still crazy to think about.
But it's like, so, like, I know it's a kind of open-ended, a lot of parts of the question, but like, what does that all mean to you, and what's that feel like?
Yeah, going off like the Current, it's awesome to meet people in similar situations. Like, they have a bunch of young players as well, and I've gotten to meet a couple of them, and being able to relate in the aspect of, we're in the same spot almost. There's kids in college, like our friends and all that, and we're here living our dreams. Like, it's really cool to have someone to relate to, especially off the field stuff. Like we were going over earlier. Like, outside of show, you go to the facility in the morning and up until a certain time, but after that, you're on your own pretty much. It's like, sure, I have family here and everything, but it's like, sometimes I said it could be, I wouldn't say, lonely, but I would say sometimes it does get a little dry.
Sure.
Like, you don't have, I try to do, I don't live near the city, but there's only so much you can do and so many things you can do
of course.
In the week. And I would say having people to relate to, maybe grabbing a coffee, grabbing some dinner, and talking about, hey, like, they understand the soccer aspect as well, but they also understand the off the field stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And going along with the World Cup, I think for Kansas City, it's one of the most deserving cities. I think people who have never visited the city or don't understand. I guess for me, I'm biased, obviously, like the home style feel, just even walking around the city.
Yeah.
And then you go to where I live, Overland Park. I feel like everyone's got a smile on their face, and everyone, you don't even know them, and I feel like they'll ask how you are, how's your day, anything like that. It's like a home style feel for me, and I think it's a great host city. To be honest, I feel like the city's going to blow up, to be honest,
God, yes.
when the games are here.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for all the shops that are going to open, all
Sure.
the different stuff like that. And I think people will kind of hopefully put Kansas City on maybe like a trip sometime, because I think that it doesn't get the hype it deserves.
Yeah, no, and I think that's so cool and interesting that you say that, because before, obviously you've grown up, you're a Chiefs fan, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We'll talk about that a little bit too, because we're going to invite you out to the Chiefs game as well. But
There we go.
And being like, before then, it was like Kansas City wasn't on the map. And, we had a guy, Will Gregory, he was a public relations guy, and he was like, he talked about stuff that was happening kind of on the front end of the movement to where we are now. But now with Chiefs, Mahomes, Kelsey, all of that. And, Kansas City is like every bit as cool of a city as anywhere out there in the country. It really is. And from Super Bowls, hosting the draft, to hosting World Cup. That's not by accident, but because it's a city that's developing and like continues to grow. And like,
Absolutely.
Outside of this building here at Lula's, you walk out and it's like you can feel a pulse. It's like a metropolitan feel, and there's like current, streetcars going by, and it just feels different. And once again, when I was growing up and I was your age, that wasn't even a possibility. Yeah. If somebody told me that, I'm like, that's not even realistic to even think about.
Yeah.
So to be that and like be at your age, I think, I tell my niece, she's daughter time, it's such an incredible time to be this age in Kansas City, and the development and what's happening, and you guys and current, and it's just so incredibly cool. So that's awesome that you guys are such a big part, and I can't wait to see you guys take that next move and do it together. And I always reflect back to like the Hosmer and Moustakis, your case again, how they talk about winning at AA and then winning at AAA, and then it was so cool to do it with their friends and with their people. What are you gonna say, something, bro?
No.
Oh, but just like to do it, and what it meant to the city, and what it meant, like, Sporting was always in big time matches year in, year out. And not that you take it for granted, but you're just like, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. So you go through some lulls, then you're like, oh my God, I know what it was like to be out, at Children's Mercy, when it's like you couldn't wait to get in. Like, you couldn't wait. You're trying to get in an hour and a half early. You're just like, it was a thing.
Aurelio Collin and the Beasley days. And there's some guys that lived in your building back in the day that you used to run around with.
Aurelio was the big one.
Aurelio, who was the other one guy?
Benny Fellhaber.
Benny Fellhaber. The Latin guy that was over there too. There's a it was kind of it was just so much fun, because it was winning, all the time. But I think it's so cool what you guys are doing now. And, I see you guys fight every night. And I know you missed Saturday's match, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah. And so I want to, what I think is cool is that, growing up as a Messi fan like you were, like that was your guy.
Yeah.
And it was a cold game.
Oh yeah,
it was a cold game.
It was chilly.
I remember watching me, like, somebody actually, I was like, offered me a ticket, and I was like, 4 years ago, I would have been like, hell yeah.
Tell us about that, Jacob. Tell us about this game with Messi. Tell us.
And you get that card. This. I think it's awesome. I'm like, when I'm watching it at work, and I was like, yes, hell yeah, man, yes.
That was. To be honest, I don't think I could write it any better making my debut against Messi. That was, I really have no words for that moment, for that day. And I didn't know I was in the lineup until the day before, because that didn't really cross my mind. I don't know if I should say that, or it's already passed. Whatever. But it was obviously going into the season. Nothing's guaranteed. I never knew I'd be playing this much, to be honest.
Right.
I'm incredibly thankful for the opportunity to do it. But like I had really, obviously I'd have aspirations to be playing with the first team all the time. But at some point you have to have a reality check of maybe, hey, I'll be playing with second team a couple weekends, hopefully be on the first team for.
Right.
I never knew going into it, and I think the coaching staff. Obviously, it was like a surprise to me, but in my eyes, it was an opportunity to showcase what I can truly do. I feel like I have all the confidence in the world.
How did they present that to you when you were like, because obviously you're like, I had no idea, like how they present it to you. Is it like a thing that they post? Is it like after, training session that they, when they come together? It
was the training before. I was talking to Coach Peter, and he gave me a penny because you usually have a understanding of what the lineup would look like.
Right.
The couple days before, day before, like that. And he gave me a penny. He's like, "You're going to be our 6 today. 6 is defensive mid." And I obviously had the thought in my mind like, does this mean it's for tomorrow as well, or just like today's training? But,
that's great. That's awesome.
That is cool shit. I love that.
But after training, it kind of set in when actually Jake, he was like, "You ready?" He came up to me and was talking to me. He was like, "You ready for tomorrow?" I was like, "What do you mean, dude?" Like, yeah. He was like, "Well, it looks like you're in the lineup," and I was like, "What?" Let's go. Got in the car after training and called my parents. I was like, I don't know if this is like actually for sure or not, but I think I may be starting tomorrow. I have no idea. Like, we'll see tomorrow, but.
Dude, how cool
That's
is
like
that,
Rudy
though?
shit. That's what Rudy Rudiger did when he called us. It was like, "Hey, I'm like, yeah, no, that is
awesome.
amazing that you're
That's
like,
awesome.
I don't know if this is right, but I think I'm in the lineup. That's so cool."
Yeah.
Mom and dad are stoked.
Yeah, it was. When I called him, I was like, I don't even know what emotions I was feeling. Yeah, my parents were
Messi's
like,
pulling up.
Yeah, I was like, to be honest, we didn't even know if he was coming. But I did see Inter Miami's like Instagram or like them getting on the plane and stuff. I was like, whoa, like this is real. And then on the team sheet before the game, when you're in the locker room, you see their lineup is like an hour before they put it up, and we see who's starting for them. I see all their players, and I was like, wow.
The night before, did you sleep? Did you sleep at all? Or were you just
it was definitely just like constant thoughts in my head, the heart's beating, like. But the morning of, and my dad and I go to, or my mom and dad and I go to breakfast. We have the same game day routine. We go to McLean's every morning.
Love it,
have
man.
a little
Love
breakfast,
McLean's. So cool.
and then watch soccer if Premier League's on, obviously earlier in the season, or MLS if there's any day games. So we kind of have the same routine. And we tried it. I guess that was the first game, so it was their first time doing it. But yeah, I guess the nerves were just all time high. Pretty much that whole day, like. Everything felt like it was in slow motion. I was like, it's 7:30 kickoff. Like, it's never coming. Like, what's going on right now? But yeah, like that, I guess that drive to the stadium was kind of obviously by myself. I was like,
do you even have any hype music? You listen to?
To be honest, I might have not listened to anything on that drive there, just sitting in my own thoughts.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm a mix with music. I could go from country to rap to EDM to whatever.
All of it. So you pull up to the stadium, you're locked in.
Yeah, it was at that point I knew I was in the lineup. And it was kind of still surreal. Like I wore a suit and a nice little coat with it. I stole it from my dad, but
I love that.
but going in the locker room, like I said, I had the guys and everyone, and Eric Tommy, our captain, pulled me aside, and he was kind of just like a true leader. I would say he's Daniel and him are your epitome of great leaders. Like they're the perfect captains for the team. And he pulled me aside and he said, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Absolutely." Like, and he was like, "That's good. Nerves are good. It means you care." And he was like, "You should have all the confidence going in the world. You deserve to be here. You've worked for it. Just go out there, have fun, play like you're a kid again."
Sure.
And that was kind of my mindset going into it. Like, if you told me this a year ago, I would have laughed at you. Like,
right.
I was going to college and I was like, there's no way, whatever. But yeah, in that moment I was like, I've done everything I need to up to this point. Right. There's no reason for me to look back and take this full head on.
And is it like what they say in football? Like football, they're like, you could be super nervous, but once the opening kickoff or your pads hit, it's over. So once the ball was kicked off, you were like...
I would say the first 5 minutes were still like I remember walking on the field and warm-ups and everything, and then walking on we did our walkouts and everything. And we were all set up before kickoff, and I was just looking around like. I remember sitting right there, like watching games growing up. I was like, "There's."
Which is so cool, Jacob.
crazy
That
that
is so
on the field.
dope.
Imagine it's like you're in the stadium where you came with your parents to watch games. Now you're on that field, that starting lineup, and Messi's across the field from you. I mean, when was that surreal moment for you? Was it like I said? Was it the first 5 minutes? Was it when you got in there and started putting your uniform on? Like, when is that surreal moment come?
I would say definitely when I got in the locker room, seeing obviously like, I've been in that locker room before when I was a kid. Like you see Matt Beasler, you see Michael
Now
Parra,
your kids,
Benny.
are your kids hanging up?
Yeah.
When you guys, okay.
Yeah, you have your own locker and your nameplate and everything. And I saw my jersey and I was like, wow, that's wow. I don't know. I really don't know. But I would say, like going back to your point, I would say the first 10 minutes where I was like this feels so fast, like everything's going 100 miles an hour, and then 10 minutes in, I was like,
settle in.
It's just you're not thinking, you're just playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say it hit again at halftime, and then same thing.
Yeah.
But after the game, I was just hung out with my girlfriend, right? When I was dating my girlfriend, and then my parents after the game, I was just like recapping everything. They were just wanting me telling stories of like, what was it like?
But how cool is that when you got a card though? I mean, I was like, that is, I don't know how many people could say that in the history, like arguably the greatest ever Doan boots on the pitch. And you got
Tell us about that moment, Jacob. I want to hear about that. I want to hear your story.
Yeah, it was definitely. I thought I could win the ball. Definitely didn't win the ball. And I fouled him.
I like that you didn't win it.
It was.
Got at him.
I think I got him pretty good, and I did feel like a little like from the fans, like a I couldn't describe it, but it was like a little. Like a hum across the whole stadium. I was like, ooh, he just got him. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, because he was like rolling a little bit. I was like, oh no. And looking back, I picked him up and gave him I helped him get up. And looking back, I got so much crap for that. Just whether it be teammates, friends, like leave him on the ground. It's a game. When you're in the white lines, like who cares?
Yeah,
You're his opponent.
no, but I get it. But yes, I know. I mean,
to be honest, I didn't even know I got a yellow till after the game because I was just like helping him up. And
it's like fouling LeBron James on a breakaway for a dunk, and you foul him and knock the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, it was that moment was like I had no idea what it was blanking out. I was like, all right. Next play, whatever.
Super cool. Jacob Bartlett, 19 years old, playing against Messi when he's got friends of his, playing soccer at, Notre Dame or Creighton or wherever. And this guy's on a professional field playing against one of the greatest players in the world. That's awesome, Jacob. That's great.
Cool.
I want to hear, and I don't want to I hate kind of jumping around and going back. Tell me a bit about your time at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's always been a school that we've always kind of loved. We're Catholic Midwest kids. But tell us about that recruitment to Notre Dame and how does that go from the academy to you going to know, how does that go? How does that work? How does that work exactly?
So you can start recruiting. Colleges can start reaching out to you your summer going into junior year of high school.
Okay.
So we obviously had tournaments going on at that time, away games and stuff like that. So teams are coming to, or colleges are coming to watch you play at big tournaments and stuff like that. And Notre Dame was one of the first colleges to reach out, actually. And for me, I grew up watching college soccer because of my brothers, and you always have your big colleges you look up to, like Stanford, Notre Dame, Duke, anything like that, North Carolina. And yeah, obviously, like growing up, I was like, there's sure Notre Dame, like Matt Beasler, like I look, there's no way I'll play there, whatever.
Right.
And I don't know. They reached out, and it was for me, it was like almost an immediate thing. Like, how can I not go play there?
Right.
I guess I had a couple colleges I was looking at, but I feel like from the first get-go, I was like, this is where I got to go. It's not far from home, but it's not too close. And like the traditions, the football, the people there, it was too much for me to pass up. And I committed there, I think, mid-junior year.
Okay. Jacob, let me interrupt you for 1 second. I'm sorry. So do you think it'll evolve as like basketball? They start offering kids in 7th grade in like college basketball, or they start offering football's not even it's 9th grade, 8th grade. They start following. So do you think the soccer will evolve where they can start offering kids at a younger age and getting them, once again, NIL in college is everything. And so every sport is eventually got to evolve and be like, hey, we got to start offering guys in 8th grade.
For me, I would rather it for, I think the way soccer goes about it, I think it should be for every sport.
Yeah.
I think the fact that kids in 8th grade who don't even know what high school they're going to the next year are getting recruited by colleges for X amount of money. Like, I think that's unfair to the kids themselves as well as the families trying to look for, maybe it's financial, like it helps them financially or other reasons. But I think the way soccer goes about it, I believe it helps the kid progress not only mentally, find out who they are as a player, as a person. And I think it's just around the right time where you kind of have everything figured out. You're growing up a little. And you start to think about that kind of stuff. Like when I was in 8th grade, I was never thinking about college.
No,
I was thinking about. So I think for me, I hope it stays like that in the recruitment for soccer at that time frame where they can't reach out to you until you're going. Like there's just, I think it's June 15th actually.
Sure.
It's like the exact day they can reach out to you.
So do they pull up to your, obviously you're in the academy, right? Mm-hmm. So they pull up and they have scouts. Do you notice when there's scouts there?
Yeah, they usually have like their team shirt on. You can see them all around the fields, but there's hundreds of scouts at those tournaments just going around to each game, and either they reach out to you, hey, I'll be at this game, hope you play well, blah, 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 or they don't text you at all, they're just watching, maybe they text you after in an email or something like that. So for me, I think it's the best way to go about it. Obviously, it's different for everyone, but I think for the sake of the kid, I think it's the best that they keep it around that age.
Yeah. So how does that affect? I'm learning more about this between you and our interview with Jake. So going to Notre Dame, how does that affect your status? Like with the academy, like you're in the academy, then you go get recruited, you go to Notre Dame. How does that affect what you're doing with the academy? Does anything change with that? What does that? I mean, how does that?
For not really. I mean, when I committed, I was starting to play with second team a little bit more. And I think Declan, who I mentioned is the academy director now, he's done a phenomenal job of kind of pushing the college route as well as the pro route. I think obviously in a perfect world everyone would go pro.
Right. Of course.
But it's not the case. It's not realistic for there's two different routes. Like my brother's like he went through the whole college route and went to pro. Like everyone's pathway is different. You never know. So I think they do a great job of pushing for both.
Right.
So yeah, I committed like middle of my junior year and just played with academy. Nothing really changes. I trained with the first team as well and went to preseason that year in January. And yeah, I would say it didn't affect kind of anyone's.
Just one season there at Notre Dame, just one.
Yeah, I was there. I went to summer, kind of did some training, like conditioning and lifting there in the summer in June, July, and then I left in December.
Okay. Are there? I've always thought about this. Are there facilities first class? Like obviously football is everything, but they're first class soccer.
That whole, I guess that campus is nothing like I've ever seen before. I remember driving up with my mom at first. Yeah,
I heard a beautiful story that you went to the grotto.
Yeah.
And prayed on what you needed to do and what your move was next. And I thought that was being a practicing. I was like, that's amazing. I've always wanted to go to the grotto.
I would 100% recommend that.
And I heard it is moving. I heard it is something incredibly special within. Yeah. So when I read that, I was like, oh, I've got to ask him about what that moment was like, and what, like, you were like, I need to go there. I need to go there, and just like, not from you, I need to go there right now, or when you pulled up.
That when kind of the contract was like confirmed, like I'd be leaving Notre Dame and going to play for Sporting, like signing professionally. I called my parents, like that was the call that they told me, hey, like the deal's there. Is this what you want to do? Like we have full support, whatever your decision is, we support you 100%. I was like, this is what I've been chasing for my whole life. There's no way I could pass this up. Obviously Notre Dame was I had an absolute blast. Like everyone there was amazing, players, staff, people I've met. I wouldn't trade that experience for the world, to be honest. I think that was the first time I've ever been away from home. I think I grew a little bit in that time as a player and a person. But going back to it, I walked down to the grotto and I was like, why me? Why? who am I to be deserving this? Like,
It's beautiful, brother.
it's like, wow, like there's always a greater purpose. And I think obviously I had to thank the Lord in that moment. It was, how is this my life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what?
That's so beautiful, brother.
Amazing.
That's awesome. I thought that was such a cool thing that you were vocal, or not vocal about, but like honest and transparent about that. I was like, that is, to me, I was like, man, this kid is different. Like, that is really cool that you shared that. So, I love this, man. Love where you are. I cannot wait to see where you guys continue to grow and continue to develop as a squad. And we'll be out.
Yeah, Jake. We told Jake. I mean, we're going to be out to some more games this year. We'll be the couple of the rowdy guys up there.
There we go. I love it.
Get a little bit rowdy up there. But listen, we can't thank you enough. Patrick just does such a great job with you guys and making you guys accessible. And thank you for taking time out of your schedule, out of your day, and coming to join Love You Bro podcast. You're part of the Love You Bro family now.
There we go. I love
We're going to have you reach back up here.
Oh,
we're going to have you
absolutely.
sign the Love You Bro.
Right.
Hey, Jacob, I think we're going to get Patrick, because we've already had 2 dogs from you guys. Patrick needs to get in this seat soon, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, right here. Right?
You're getting that seat
I'll be
soon,
sitting
yeah.
there. Let's trade spots.
Exactly.
Let's get him over here. Yeah.
No, he's some way, somehow we'll get him there, for, at least for a half segment. But thank you so much, man. You have been such a joy, and I mean, what awesome times, man. So thank you, man.
I just want to say thank you, you guys as well. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you're part of the Love You Bro podcast now. So we'll be doing some fun things this fall. I told Jake we get you guys out to a Chiefs game, man. We got some great seats.
Absolutely.
You guys have to come do a tailgate.
There we go.
You come out with us. We'll get some tickets and do a Chiefs
Patriots fan over there.
game.
That's all right.
I remember Jake telling me that. Well, you know,
That's all right.
If he likes championships, he should be here in Kansas City. So we're gonna win some more.
So I'm gonna have to deal with Minnie making Jacob friendship bracelets for the next month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she gave
Love
me
one.
that.
I would
She
love
was.
one.
I was like, "You want to take a picture?" And she was like, "Dad," and I was like, "What? No, we have to go." And she's like, I'm embarrassed if I have to walk all the way over there.
No.
The sweetest in the world. But brother, thank you so much. Love you, brother.
Jacob, man.
Best luck.
Love you, bro, man. Thank you so much for coming on our podcast,
Absolutely.
man. Well, you're part of the family now, so don't be surprised. Listen, we've talked about bringing you and Jake on together. Later on, we'll do another.
There we go,
We'll do
yeah.
another episode. Have the both of you guys on here,
Let's do it.
and at that time, we'll probably bring Patrick in too.
There we go. Right in the middle.
See what
Yeah.
you guys will say. So
Patrick, come in.
again, guys, thanks for coming on Love You Bro podcast.
And the swag is, I mean,
Swag
I'm
is
gonna be dripped out, boy.
yeah.
I'm gonna be dripped.
Sporting, man. First class. They do it all the time, man. They brought us jerseys the first time with Jake Davis. Jacob Bartlett and Patrick brought us this gear today. So thank you to Sporting Kansas City. Patrick, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, until
Good
next
luck Saturday. You guys, who do you have Saturday night?
New York City.
New York Saturday. Are you guys
New
in New
York.
York Saturday?
Home.
Home Saturday. Okay. We gotta start lining up some games to get out there, man.
We're out there.
We'll line those up.
Yeah.
So,
For
man,
real.
until next time, man. Until next week, we thank you guys for joining Love You Bro podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Check us out. Where else, man? Where else we checking on X?
Quinn, who's winning the home run derby?
O'Neal Cruz is up right now. He's at 3 home runs. I'm not seeing.
Real quick, they asked Bobby Witt. They asked.
He said no, right?
Yeah, he was like, not even a hesitation. He was like, no, not even. He was like, I want to enjoy it this year. Like, you know, it was last year in his hometown, but it took everything out of it. But he's like, no, I'm good.
He's good. Okay, guys, thank you. Until next time, man. Thanks for our production team. You guys like and subscribe everywhere you find us on your podcast channel. So until next time, man, we're out.